5 players that will be leaving the Championship this summer. It's been one of the most entertaining Championship seasons in a long while, but there's been a lot of star players throughout the year and a lot that I do not think will be in the division come the start of next season. The first player that I want to talk about is the Championship player of the season, one that is obviously going to be departing, and that is Crysencio Summerville. He has been truly incredible for Leeds United, probably the best player I've seen since Rafinha, and it is 100% nailed on that he is going to be leaving. 19 goals and 9 assists in the league this year, numbers that are very rarely hit by wingers. I know Leeds have a superstar lineup and should have got promoted, and that's why he's going to go, because we didn't manage to clinch promotion, and he is certainly good enough to be playing in the Premier League or in one of Europe's top leagues. It's looking like Chelsea and Liverpool are leading the race for Crysencio Summerville. For me, it kind of screams of a Chelsea signing, but at the same time, Chelsea are apparently keeping tabs on Elise and Eze. I think that Summerville could and should actually end up at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, for me, would mark a good next step in his career. He is a talented player that is undoubtedly still only 22 years old as well, so there's plenty of room for growth. And to be honest, I think he's a player that doesn't really have a ceiling. I could see him playing Champions League football within the next couple seasons, but I think a more sensible next step for Summerville and for his career would be to a club like Crystal Palace. Let's say they sell Eze and Elise this summer, they can pay the 30 to 35 million pound asking price that Leeds are looking for, and I think that Summerville would be an adequate replacement for them, and I think he'd be definitely starting games and getting a lot of minutes at Palace. Whereas if he's to go to Chelsea or Liverpool, it's not 100% guaranteed that he's going to be playing, and he is certainly a man that needs to be playing to develop his game. I wish he could stay. I wish he'd stay at Leeds. But to be honest, from an unselfish point of view, he needs to go. And I want to see him shine. We've seen it with Rafinha this year, him playing against PSG in the Champions League, and you think, all right, you knew he was this good, go on and do your thing. Even last time we were in the Premier League, he did have a fair few appearances for Leeds, got 4 goals, 2 assists. One of those goals was a last-minute winner against Liverpool at Anfield to end their home unbeaten streak. He's a special player. He's going to do it. He's definitely going to get a move. I'm hoping we get a 30 to 40 million pound fee. I know Leeds have got financial trouble, so it'll probably end up being 30 million. But let's move on to another player in Morgan Whittaker. Morgan Whittaker has been by far Plymouth's best player this season. He's been involved in 46% of Plymouth's goals. So if it wasn't for him, they would have had half the amount of goals he's scored or assisted. Half, that is. For Plymouth, I think this is probably the smartest signing in the entire club's history. They managed to pick him up last year for only £1 million. He's 23 years old. He's a fantastic attacker, and it feels like he's just starting to find that form and starting to find how good he is. Maybe he'll want to play under Wayne Rooney. I cannot believe that Plymouth have made that mistake, by the way. If Whittaker goes, which it looks pretty likely he will, and Rooney is your manager with absolutely zero tactics, I would 100% guarantee that Plymouth get relegated next year. Maybe he'll stay. If Whittaker stays, I think they've got a chance. But if you lose 50% of your attacking outlet and bring in Wayne Rooney as a manager, it is not looking good, bruv. Lazio were interested in Whittaker in the January transfer window, and Plymouth had to back bids away from them, which says to me there's definitely going to be top clubs not only in England but also in Europe looking at him. And I really enjoy seeing a young English player moving abroad, because I think it gives them an opportunity to shine and develop that isn't always available in the Premier League, especially because of the lack of playing minutes that are on offer from some of these top clubs. Whittaker, I hope he gets a move abroad, and if he does go to the Premier League, I hope it's to a bottom half team, maybe a Fulham, Everton, West Ham, so that he can have an opportunity to continue to develop and become a key player at a club. Speaking of West Ham, they are interested in my next pick for a player who's definitely going to leave the Championship this summer, and that is Jack Clarke. Jack Clarke has already had his big move to the Premier League in the past. He did move from Leeds to Tottenham in 2019, but that was a move that really didn't work out. Clarke actually never made an appearance for Spurs. What a horrible decision it was in the end to go there. I mean, I'm sure he earned that bread. I'm sure he got enough money to justify it, but his time at Spurs was spent at QPR on loan, Stoke on loan, and then on loan to Sunderland, who decided to actually purchase Clark at the culmination of the loan spell. However, since joining Sunderland on a permanent deal, he has lit the Championship alight and been their most important player throughout. So in the 22-23 season, he got 9 goals and 12 assists, 21 goal involvements, and this season just gone, he got 15 goals and 4 assists, so 19 goal involvements. An average of 20 goal involvements for a 23-year-old English winger definitely gets eyes looking. West Ham are meant to be one of the key teams in for him. Newly promoted Southampton are apparently very interested. They had seen what he can do in the Championship throughout last season, and that is in a Sunderland side that really dropped off and was pretty poor throughout the year. For me, Clark definitely has the ability to be playing at one of those bottom end Premier League clubs, but I just fear that it might take a little bit of time for him to bed in. He clearly was never good enough to break into that Tottenham team or even get a look in. So I think whoever picks him up might need a little bit of patience, but I do have trust that in the long run, Clark can become a quality Premier League player. Not next level, not GOAT tier. I think he'll just be okay. Going from attackers to defenders, potentially the best centre-back in the Championship this season, certainly top 3. I had him in my Championship team of the season, and that is Hull's Jacob Greaves. Greaves is a centre-back that I can genuinely see getting in the England squad at the next tournament. If he gets a big money move to the Premier League, I think with a lot of game time, he will be one of the best English centre-backs in the world. He's a versatile player. He's played 8 games at left back this season. Premier League clubs will absolutely love that. He's not injury prone. Across the last 3 seasons, he has played practically every single game for Hull City. I know Hull have struggled a little bit, maybe should have got into the playoffs this season, but that isn't down to Greaves. In fact, he has been one of the reasons that they have been challenging up and around the playoffs, probably a lot quicker than many people thought that they would. The front runners for him at the minute are Everton and West Ham. Apparently Burnley are also in the race. I do think that he should try to pick a Premier League team. I know it's quite likely that Burnley will bounce straight back up depending on what happens with their management situation. But if you are Greaves, you've just missed out on the playoffs, finishing top half of the Championship. Really, the next step up is the bottom half of the Premier League. And there is actually no doubt that he isn't at that level. Let me know, do you think that Greaves has been the best centre-back in the Championship this season? Because for me, it's between him, maybe one of the Leeds, Rodon, Ampadu, Wout Fez at Leicester potentially, but Greaves is certainly in that conversation, which is very rare for a team that doesn't even finish in the top 6. Also, remember to like and subscribe if you like football and Championship content, because we're going to be pumping a load out over the summer. Let's move on to the last of my 5 players who will definitely leave the Championship this summer. The last is Jobe Bellingham. This is a really sticky one, because I actually don't think that Bellingham has lit the Championship alight this season. And to be honest, that's the rhetoric I've seen across the internet, across the footballing world. When talking about Bellingham, Jobe that is, moving to the Premier League, everyone's a bit like, really? Like, does he really deserve that? And then I kind of thought to myself, it is easy to forget he's still only 18. He's played 93% of Sunderland's minutes this season in a top division in the Championship. Let's be honest, the Championship is better than practically every league that's not in the top 5 European leagues. Yeah, his stats aren't amazing. He's had 7 goals and 1 assist, playing a mixture from centre mid all the way to up top. I don't know with Jobe. I hope if he does move to the Premier League, I hope he gets loaned straight back out, because I have a feeling whichever club signs him will be signing him more for his name as opposed to his ability and his likelihood to actually fit into the squad and have a meaningful impact throughout a season. So if that is the case, I hope he manages to just straight away go to the Championship and continue developing, because at 18 years old, there isn't many 18-year-olds that play practically every game for a Championship team. 7 goals, decent. If he continues to progress, you could see 21. He's playing every game. He's moved that up to 20 goals, maybe 10 goals, 10 assists, depending on whereabouts in the pitch he's playing. He could become a very good player, but if he goes to the teams that are linked at the minute, Tottenham, we just spoke about Jack Clark. Jack Clark went to Tottenham, never got a chance. So why do you want Jobe Bellingham to do the same? The other favourite is Palace. They've come up a few times in this video because they are quite good at recruiting exciting young players and developing them. So I would much prefer Palace over Tottenham. But for Jobe, to be honest, I'd probably just want to stick around for another year, stay at Sunderland. There's still the pressure there of a big stadium with often quite a lot of fans. It's not like you're playing at Stoke in front of 12,000 people a game. So I would stay if I was him. Rumoured a 10 to 15 million pound fee. It's not bad for a team if they manage to pick him up for that much. And for marketing purposes, you can already see every Tottenham fan with Bellingham on the back of the shirt, which would just be stupid. But I hope it's not his brother's name that gets him a move and that he stays, proves himself more, and then gets the move when he's truly ready for it. I do have a few honourable mentions of players that I think probably will move on, but aren't in my top 5 because I don't think it's as nailed on. The first of which is Willie Gnonto. Gnonto's had a killer season for Leeds. He didn't feature much in the first half after a lot of problems and nearly leaving last summer. So there's also still maybe a bit of a bitter taste in a lot of Leeds fans' mouths. Personally, there's not. I think it was probably more to do with the agent and agent wanting more money as opposed to Gnonto himself. However, apparently AC Milan have opened talks with Leeds about Gnonto. And let's be real, as an Italian boy, he is going to want that AC Milan move. There is nothing we can do to stop that, and we just need to work on getting a good transfer fee. If that rumour is true, of course. There is also rumours of Fiorentina, Roma, and Atlanta being interested in him. Again, he's Italian. He'll want to get in the next World Cup squad, and if AC Milan are in for him, we aren't going to stop it. So let's just accept it and let him go. The next on my list is one that I actually haven't heard many rumours about, which has really surprised me, and that is Norwich's Gabriel Sara. So Sara's had a killer season. He's 24 years old, and he's got a combined 25 goals and assists this year. If a team doesn't come in for him, I will be absolutely shocked. And having watched him play multiple times throughout this season, I feel like he's a player that had better suit a move abroad. Maybe to a team like Girona in Spain, who have had a killer season and have a little bit of money to burn. Atlanta, who have just won the Europa League, so should have a decent amount of cash to go out in the transfer market. Or maybe even a step higher to someone like Juventus. Juventus are struggling at the minute. They don't have the best finances. Sara should probably cost between 25 and 30 million, which is a reasonable transfer fee. And Juventus only finished 3rd, so their star player pulling power might have dropped a little bit. I know people might think, well, yeah, but are they really going to drop to looking at championship players? But the championship produces some of the best players in the world, so I don't think that that's particularly a negative. Sara, I could definitely see leaving and to a top club. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. Please do remember, let me know in the comments some championship players, some that I missed out potentially that you think will definitely be leaving, and also some that you think your club should sign this summer. Thanks so much for watching. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your night. Please remember to like and subscribe. Peace.